Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Full Force Newsburst Live unboxing special with me, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80, brought to you by Generals Joe's Reborn.com. Yes, we're going to be checking out Shockwave tonight. Yes, this one's been a bit of a long-winded kind of to get to because we've had lots of news this week. So it's been nice kind of churning out actual, news bursts during the week. So yeah, we are gonna get into some unboxing tonight. Hope everyone is doing well. Hello, Lightfoot. Hello, Wilfredo Diaz. Yeah, check if you're in the comment. If you're watching tonight, chuck us a like, whatever format you're watching on. If you're not on YouTube, go to YouTube anyway and subscribe to us, please, and thank you very much. And of course, throw your comments in, whatever your questions if you fancy it. We'll be doing a sort of like, it's an evening where we just hang out. I open a figure, we look at it, I go through some stupid stuff, and then probably say a bunch of stupid things, and that's pretty much it. Hello Medic 1849 and hello Flaffle. Hope everyone is doing really well. Let's get stuck into this Shockwave then right now. Pow! Shockwave. Now, of course, the official name is Jason Shockwave Faria, or Faria. Any of those will do. And yes, this one is one I've been looking forward to probably since, if I'm being really honest, I've been looking forward to this one since we got Beachhead. Because we already had Gung Ho at that point, Gung Ho V1 in the classified series. And I was saying the whole time, hey, there's a Shockwave here. Like, and I think a lot of customs flew out of that Beachhead. And let's turn the light up a little bit. A lot of customs flew out of that Beachhead and Gung Ho kind of hat combination. What we saying in the comments? What are you saying? Hello, Scott Skeen. Shockwave, the man who would break up Nightclub Force. Good point. For those that don't know what Nightclub Force is, it's self-explanatory. Good evening, Slave and White Vegeta. I want to hear your opinion on this figure's shield and how he holds it. I want to hear your opinion on the notch on the shield. Okay, Wilfredo, we'll get to that for sure. First of all, though, let's check out the old box and that. But I will say, just as kind of like a preface, Shockwave was always one of those characters that I truly loved as in the vintage line. Like, it's one of those figures that just looks cool. It was like a very satisfying figure. Lots of cool, like I say, lots of cool accessories, backpack and the submachine gun pretty much. And a knife, I want to say he came with a knife as well. But anyway, yeah, like it's just a very satisfying figure. Really enjoyed it. And I loved the design. I loved the kind of aspect of it being like a SWAT team specialist. So it was really cool. Kind of lots of cool things all around. Really. Let's talk. Well, we'll talk about the render, shall we, Luke Poulon, who has asked if did the famous Joe Detective McLeod find what the train refers to? Well, the train actually refers probably to a number of things. I imagine the comic more than anything else. But I would also maybe a very like weak kind of link, because it's not Shockwave that it links to at all, not in the comic nor in the cartoon. But I was thinking possibly some sort of Worlds Without End reference as well, considering that is quite a famous one. And they seem to do these references sometimes, like a location reference doesn't necessarily mean much to the character. Sometimes it does, like in the Metalhead artwork cover, render cover, which has both Norgahide and that bullet train in the background as well. What was the knife? Yeah, big silver knife. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Scott. He did come with a big silver knife. Dearborn, Michigan. Shockwave and I share the same birthplace as Flaffle. Interesting. Not going to lie, when I was a kid, I thought Shockwave was a new version of Beachhead, says Scott Skeen. I can see where that's coming from. 100%. It's a dude with a balaclava on, of course. But no, I was straight into this. Like, I was so excited for this figure. this is an interesting point here. So I think it was a mistake, and this background was meant for Helix and hers for him. You say that, but it works for Helix too, because that is literally the front cover almost, or like, sorry, that is literally the silent option situation, like her house basically in silent option. So it makes sense for Helix 100%. What doesn't make sense though is the fact they did two almost identical Dreadnought render covers for Buzzer and Ripper, and they didn't think they could do the same for Shockwave and Helix, because you could have had a different angle. You know, Shockwave could have been looking at the house behind the trucks, the SWAT trucks, and you could have seen maybe Helix in the distance. Maybe, you know, that would have made sense, wouldn't it? Anyway, it still feels really odd though, doesn't it, that it's on this particular background. I mean, Shockwave at the beach just doesn't really make any sense. He is an urban SWAT specialist. Ain't nothing urban about that, unless they're about to break into some sort of mobile home on the water. I don't know. Breach, I should say. As a kid, if I would have just picked him up, he would have joined my Cobra because of all the blue and face mask. Interesting, White. Hello, Dietcast Nick. And Eduardo says, "What's up? I remember when I got this as an O-ring. I was excited because I love the SWAT TV series from the 70s. Nice, nice. Yeah, really good, really awesome." So anyway, it's still a cool render. He still looks phenomenal. Background doesn't make sense though, and it's like it's almost like they've just it's almost like an afterthought. It's like, what? Let's just stick Shockwave there. It's fine. But I think the actual figure render looks phenomenal. And then, of course, you've got the gorgeous artwork. That one, I know I say it every single time, but it does look like Oliver Barrett. I think it could be Scott Johnson though. Or there's another artist working on it, which we don't know yet. But anyway, he was from Manchester in the UK. Diecast Nick. I can't remember what he was on the UK card. Is that true? I genuinely cannot remember what his birthplace was in action, in like, you know, the Action Force card backs. And I also can't remember if I got him in the US or if I got him in the UK. I can't remember. Genuinely can't remember. I still need to get Shockwave, says Rachel. Yep. Well, I've got him now, so yay. Also, massive shout out to Justin Bell of Generals Joe's Reborn fame, who got me this, and the remaining three figures behind me, which are going to be, it's all going to be like praising Justin Bell for sending me these. Very, very kind of you, Justin. You're an absolute star. Yeah, it's about time you actually supported the channel, seeing as I call your blooming website out. I'm just kidding. Justin's great. I love him. I also can't remember what year it was. Was it yeah, it would have been 89, wouldn't it? I think. No, it would have been 90 then. Was it 90? Oh yeah, he was a G.I. Joe the Action Force card back. Of course he was. In any case, I want to see what is Greater Manchester. Yeah, Manchester, Greater Manchester. I've completely forgot that. That's crazy, isn't it? Obviously, this isn't the Let's Talk Classified Shockwave video, because that's been and gone. I don't even think I didn't get a chance to do it. But there is his UK G.I. Joe the Action Force card back. And as you can see, he's Jason A. Wright now. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that? And I love the fact his secondary military specialty was choir. I forgot I was going to mention that as well, because that's on the US card too. But isn't that crazy? Manchester Police Department SWAT team. They didn't have a SWAT team. That was American only. But they did have an armed police force. But Manchester, Greater Manchester, which is great because obviously my dad's from Manchester. And of course, me and me dad are Manchester United supporters. Well, the family as well. Mum's a West Brom supporter. So, you know, from back in the day. But she kind of basically ends up supporting Man United at the end of the day. Anyway, yeah, brilliant stuff. So, like I said, it's not Let's Talk Classified Shockwave, it's Let's Open Classified Shockwave. But anyway, we see his quite healthy loadout at the top there. Two kind of submachine guns, two knives, two different types of knife, a nightstick, or a tonfa, as I used to call it, and a big shield, and what looks to be a really nice painted Xbox controller. No, I'm just kidding. It is it's his hat, but it did look a little bit like an Xbox controller, didn't it? Been a nice blue and yellow deco. Even the dots look like the buttons that you'd press. Shockwave as a choir boy. That's just funny to me. It's great, isn't it? I love that. And then, of course, on the back we have his loadout, 6.2 inches, so it's 6'2", I reckon. And then they've called out his deco on his cap, which is quite cool, and the kind of bullet shells on his, or the shotgun shells on his pouch there as well. Very cool. Anyway, what else are we looking at on there? Oh, of course, we've got the QR code that goes to nowhere, and his very tiny but a little bit easier to make out abilities, kind of things he's got there as well, because obviously, like, tactician is in there. He's like level 4 on that one. He's high level on that. Yeah, it's getting like, I mean, the tactics one is the kind of like chess piece, isn't it? That's really cool. And then you've got urban mission, I guess that is on the right. And then you got those two on the, I don't know what those two on the left are. I just don't. Good at lightning and good at magazines. Anyway, let's also, oh yeah, I've got to look at the beautiful artwork on the side as well. Really nice stuff. I think they've really captured his character here. Shockwave's another one that's kind of undeveloped. He was in like a special missions issue. He was in the comic to some degree, but there was definitely like a lack of real character development for Shockwave. And I would, I like the fact that, we've got the opportunity now going forward with even more comics, that we might see a little bit more from him as well. What we say in here? He's a mank, says Diecast. Exactly. Busting up those pesky surfer hippies, says Scott. Yeah, I suppose he is. Yeah, that's what it feels like, doesn't it? I was going to buy that figure, but the face sculpt, especially the eyes, look terrible. He's wearing a balaclava, Jason. In terms of face sculpts, you're not really going to get much in the way of detail there. Eyes wise, I don't know. I haven't really seen it yet, but it doesn't look too bad at the moment. I suppose when we get into it, we'll have a look. I also wish he and Mutt would have come with a loop on their nightsticks. Yeah, that would have been cool. Mike and Nikki, MN Juggalo fam. Whoop whoop, homie. Haven't got Shockwave yet. Glad it's a great figure. Oh, cool. We'll see, won't we? I'm going to predict that Walmart 2-pack Zorak will be Nightforce Shockwave and Nightforce Outback based on the other 2-packs, says Flaffle. It's not, but I like your thinking on that one. Minecraft camo. It does feel like that, Carl. Yeah. Classified police line, make a police car and a police vehicle and some SWAT figures and make some Cobra police force as well. You're welcome, Hasbro. Okay. Law and Order will look so cool next to him. SUV vehicle. Oh, yeah, that would be cool. Hello, David. Vanguard, light weapons, tactics, urban warfare specialist. Some people need to stop complaining. What was I doing? Was I complaining? Funny, I'm going to get Shockwave myself on Friday. Nice one, Carl. Well, here we go. Let's bust into this one. Number 105, Shockwave. I'm excited for this. Again, like there are certain characters in the classifieds when they come out in the classified series that I'm like, oh, I kind of save them for last. In terms, like, I've had this pile, and the beauty part is every one of them I've been really kind of like buzzing to get, but I still kind of put them in like a sort of order. You know what I mean? Like a Law and Order. Yeah. Hint, hint. What? Right. Let's come on. Out you come. That was giving me more grief than any other one we've had so far. Here we go. Boosh. We've got a ridiculously long name on his weapons locker. Jason, Shockwave, Faria, or Right if you're in the UK. 105. There's the logo. Yeah, you've seen it before. I don't know why I look at these in so much detail each time and then say the same thing over and over. I'm not going to do it this time. You know my thoughts on these. We've got the information in there too that nobody ever cares about. And one crisp packet. Let's get stuck in. And I kind of open these expecting there to be crisps inside, chips. Okay, so first off, that's cool. Okay, so the shield is really, really awesome. It's massive, got loads of detail on it. There are like scratch marks. You've got like purposeful ones, like actually molded in. You've got really nice, like you've got these like yellow, almost like, are they like lamps? Are they like lights to kind of like blind whoever they're kind of coming into contact with? That's pretty dope. Or just light the way. And then that kind of like, oh, I just got attacked. And then the kind of like the pipe that comes out of the lights set up and kind of goes all the way around there. And then does it come around the back? Yeah, it does. That's really nice. That's really cool. And then it kind of comes back around the back into this kind of like faux battery here, which is really neat. I like that. And then, of course, you've got the Cobra sigils kind of crossed out for all the Cobras they've taken out in urban situations. That's really nice. And then on this side, you've got the clip for the arm and the handle as well. So I'm guessing that's what you're talking. That's what whoever was Wilfredo was talking about that earlier. That whole wave was phenomenal. Chris about to pull an Ultra Magnus. Open, damn it, open. Yeah, I was doing that, Cole, a little bit, wasn't I? And then everyone turns up and like blows me up, and I go and fly into little pieces. Transformers movie for you there. Right, it looks like we've got everything. I'm just going to double check it. Yeah, we've got both machine guns, 2 magazines, 2 different knives, the tonfa and the hat. Cool. Right. Start with a beautiful hat. Nice little deco. I like the yellow additions on them, honestly. I really do. Oh, that's a nice. There we go. You can see it nice and clearly there. Nice little detail, like the little kind of like rivets on the side, rivet or buttons. Really cool. Again, like just it's a hat, but it's really nice, really neat, and it's got the number 4 inside it. You'll never believe what I've done. I've dropped it. I do this all the time. I always drop things. Number 4. Look, there you go. Sweet. So that's the hat. And again, the deco it kind of is all the way around. So it's on the back, a little kind of digital camo. It's on the side, on this side, and it's on the front. It's not on the top. It's not on. It's a little bit on the cap, and then there's nothing on this side. So it's interestingly decoed. I'm just want to have a look at if there's any. Yeah, it's interesting. I like that. It's got some deco on there, which I really like. And then we've got 2 of these. These are the submachine guns without the obviously without the magazines in them. And I'll just obviously pop the magazines in like so. So you end up like that. And just to show you, it goes boop and then boop. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Awesome. So we've got 2 of those bad boys. I'm going to pop this one in as well. And then just be ever so slightly careful when you're popping those in because, well, that's interesting. I wonder if that's actually... This one's a little bit harder to push in and actually sticks out further, which is interesting. I think they're supposed to be identical, but one of them sticks out longer than the other, as you can see. I probably just have pushed one in far and the other one hasn't gone in as far as it should. Maybe they should both be like that. I might have just pushed one in a bit too far. But anyway, or not push the other one in. You know how it is. But that isn't... yeah, that one stays out really far, and this one is going in quite a bit too far. So might have got like... they might have like just got the depth in the interior of this handle a little bit, had gone too far maybe, and maybe there's like a, I don't know, just going in there a little bit. Anyway, got that. We've got this knife, which is kind of like it's like a fish knife almost, isn't it? Like a fillet sort of like a gutting sort of job. But that's really cool. I like that. Nice little knife. That ain't a knife. It is. It's a knife, mate. And then we've got this one. More kind of like your standard blade sort of jobber. That ain't a knife. It is. It's a tiny knife. That's what it is. And of course, oh, is it backwards? You said. Why does... I mean, they're like, when you say backwards, it's identical both ways. Like, I don't know what you mean. I can't put it in the other way because it's got a little thing on it, like an edge. So I'm not sure if it's back, unless you're talking about something else that I just missed completely when you say it's backwards tags, because the magazines, if you're talking about those, they're identical either way round. So I don't really know what you're getting at there. In any case, did I show you the nightstick? There's your nightstick as well, your little tumfer. Nice. So loads of cool stuff there. Brilliant. I'm missing loads. Chris, are you going to flip the handle on his shield? Am I going to flip the handle on his shield? Why? How? Is it supposed to be flipped? How do you mean? Sorry, loads of comments and I've missed loads. Hello, Paul. How you doing, buddy? Watch putting the knife in the sheath on the chest. Mine popped off. Had to glue it back on. I'll check that. I'll be careful for that, Derek. The light should work like a flashbang, says Todd. Oh, that's cool. Are you going to flip the handle on his shield? Is that a question as in, am I going to customize it? Because it's just going to be a right-handed shield, right? So he's going to be left-handed with his... Do you know is that all you're saying? Is it just because you think he should be right-handed when you say it's backwards? It's only backwards if you're thinking that someone can't be left-handed, I guess. Another full force morning here. Ooh, Shockwave got mixed reactions from the fans here, I hear, says Robert. Yeah, sounds like that way. Shockwave is a good figure and just a couple small things away from being a great figure. Yeah, I just wish his box art background wasn't switched with Helix. Well, again, Todd, I don't think it's necessarily a switch because I know it says SWAT on there, but this is her house. It's from Silent Option. So it makes sense for her, right? Like 100%. I don't think it's necessarily what, I don't think Helix just there on this like background that makes no sense to anybody would also be appropriate, if you know what I mean. So I think Helix is perfectly fine. It's just confusing that they didn't do a similar thing they did with the Dreadnoks. Based on your early reaction, do you recommend Shockwave cheese bag? I haven't opened it yet. We're still on the accessories, but let's get into the figure. I'll come back to this in a second. There's too much going on. It's a tactical knife, Carbar Beck attack tool. Oh, cool. Thank you, Paul. Is that the cheeky one? You can lift stubborn hinge pins, pry open doors and windows, quickly cut 550 cord, hammer glass out the way, or use it as a knife. That's awesome information. Thank you so much. Yeah, all those little kind of like details and bits and pieces kind of all start to make sense now. It definitely had that vibe of like a like a kind of filleting, like like a fish knife that you'd kind of a toe knife. Nice nightstick. Thank you. You can lift stubborn. Yeah, I've read that. You've spelt it wrong, Al Vega. So I can't say that because that's not the word. Corner notch on shield is for gun barrel to shoot over shield. If you look at how he holds the shield, he cannot use the gun barrel notch. Hence, the shield handle was put on backwards. I see, Flaffle. So if he's holding it like that, yeah, you can't put your right. I get it. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that is interesting. I wonder if that was. I mean, they must have like designed it an actual way for it to make sense, and then it was just put on wrong at the factoire because they are two separate pieces. Like, well, I say that you can't really put it on the other way because it fits into a space. So they did design it incorrectly as well. That is funny, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably not going to flip it. I probably don't really care too much. He's probably just going to hold it and then just have the other one in his hand, in his left hand. Wish they made it so the shield could go in either hand. Yeah, or like the spinner, like on the Alley Viper shield. That's amazing, that shield. And all they need to do is put this on a hinge and spin it round. Done. Bob's a good one. Bob's a good one. Job's a good one. Helix card art is her actual backstory. Yes, Silent Option. Check it out. Once you have your shield in hand, you'll notice the notch for shooting is on the wrong side. Yes, that's what I've been told. I would have loved a loop for the nightstick on the belt or on the shield, and maybe a way to put riot shield on as a backpack. That's a great shout, actually. Let's actually look at Shockwave while you guys rip into all the accessories. Ready, steady. He was awake the whole time. I had a cheeky quick look anyway, just to see what he was doing. So it would have been cheating anyway. Oh, he looks good. I like it in the blue. He's kind of giving. Yeah, I see what you mean about the eyes. It's like they're trying for something there. It's like almost like an ever so slight sort of like that, isn't it? It's like he's like giving it that one. Like one eye's a little bit closed than the other. Let's get a good close up of it. I don't have a problem with that though. I see what you're saying though. I could see how it looks a little bit like they should be the same, because like I would say actually the shape of the head isn't going with what the eyes are doing. If do you know what I mean? Like the cheek should be a bit raised, or this part of the head up here should be a bit kind of like there should be it shouldn't be symmetrical is what I'm getting at, because he's kind of like closing one eye a little bit, so it kind of moves muscles around the face. And so I kind of get what you're saying on that one. But no, I still think he's a cool figure. Again, balaclava's nice, very simple detailing on that. The secondary's gorgeous. The deco's lovely on this one. I love the addition of the yellow spots. I think that's wicked. And then of course we've got the kind of shin guards and the old knee pads down there. Is that flint reuse? It's not, is it? That's Beachhead? Is it Beachhead's legs? It is, isn't it? I think it is Beachhead's legs. So we did get a bit of Beachhead in there. It does, or are they new? Or are they on some other characters? I feel like that's. Is it Beachhead's legs? Let me know in the comments, please, guys. Because I always fail when it comes to knowing parts. I just don't pay enough attention. But no, he looks really good. I really like him. Anyway, we're back in with this crap, aren't we? The plastic kind of tab things. I'm not a fan. These aren't breaking as easy as the other ones were. These are almost different. These are almost different to the other plastic ones that I was kind of not too fussed about. Okay, that was too much of that's a ball ache. I've got to do that 4 times now while you guys, I don't know, while I talk talk crap in the background. That's another one done. It is a lot easier when you've got a little choppy thing, a little blade. Not a fan of the plastic. That's too tight. I can't get any purchase on it. Is that annoying? Yeah, it looks like the unboxing's off, guys, because I can't actually open him. I can't actually get him out. I always thought that blue was a Cobra color. I mean, it's blue in it. It doesn't, blue's blue. I mean, Cobra have got all sorts of colors as well. Why on earth is this hating me so much right now? There we go. Okay, that's one done. On to the last one. I'm giving it Shockwave's eyes at the moment, the way I'm cutting this. Come on. Sorry, I'm using a spoon to try and cut it. I'm not really, but that's what it feels like right now. I just can't get enough, I can't get enough purchase on the actual plastic kind of bit to have enough space to get the blade underneath. Oh, this is such a pain in my... There we go. I just pulled it really hard, and then guess what? He fell out onto the floor. Give me 3 hours and I'll go and retrieve him. There he is. Okay, so he's been through a lot so far, Shockwave, so give him a bit of break. Scissors work better than a box. Yeah, if I had any scissors, Andrew, I'd have used them, buddy. But you're 100% right. Scissors would have been a great shout. Now, right out of the gate, he feels good. Joints are good. Articulation. I mean, he's a classified figure. It's exactly what you expect, and he's a beauty. He is an absolute beauty. I'm loving the deco. I'm loving the design. I'm loving the secondary. The deco is really cool. And again, I said it before already, but the little yellow dot additions sort of making it so, hang on, can I just do that for a second? Yeah. The yellow kind of predator dots are really, really nice on there. Again, like just breaks up a little bit, not too much, not all over. They're not like he's not covered in it. It's just every now and again, and it's like a really nice addition to a character that I thought was really dope. Anyway, with that digital camo that he had, there's a gorgeous artwork in black and white in the background as well. Absolutely gorgeous. Now let's get all this plastic crap out of the way. Let's gear him up. Put his hat on first. Now, is this going to be a gung-ho issue or no? That's fine. It goes on really nicely. And it looks like it's on there pretty securely as well. Watch it fling off. Yeah, he's on there. He's wearing it. So now, in my opinion, he is completely and utterly Shockwave now. He's got the hat on. The sun has got his hat on. Hip, 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 hooray. And there you go. Looking cool. Now, I think I agree with you guys, though. I really like the idea of this being a backpack, for one thing. I think that would have been really cool if there was a way that could have been done. Even if it was like he had a backpack and this attached to it would have been really cool as well. Like, I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity. I mean, I don't understand the aversion to backpacks. Not only like at in the current time where we hardly see any backpacks anymore on a lot of figures, but the fact that the ones that we do have don't really stay on, that is a definite. I think that's my main issue with the line of the backpacks, because there's so many that will just randomly just pop out because it's not a secure enough connection. I'm just kind of messing with his little kind of shin sheath and the bottom there, just getting into kind of position. Let's get a knife in there. Is that for his right? So yeah, that obviously is for his tool. Is the one that Paul was talking about in the comments before. So that pops in like so. I'm just going to put it in like that. You guys happy with that? Looks nice. Looks good. Good angles. Okay, cool. And then of course we've got the submachine guns, and he's got sheaths obviously in holsters on his thighs, 2 secondaries, of course. And I like they've got that kind of extra kind of support strap on there as well. No, I haven't seen these before. Have they been on any other characters, or is this a first for Shockwave? Because I like that. That's really neat. I don't recognize them. That doesn't mean they haven't appeared already. I could have just missed it. So I'm popping both submachine guns in there. I was hoping there'd be like a spot for the magazines to kind of sit, because a lot of fake figures I've noticed recently there'll be a spot where you put the pistol or the gun, and then the magazine goes in a different place. That would have been dope. Yeah, I think they are unique to Shockwave, aren't they, Andrew? I feel like I haven't seen them yet. I hate those plastic ties. I use sprue cutters on them. I would have, like, if I'd have expected a different type of plastic tie, I would have utilized a different thing. We have never on this show, even with the other plastic ties, I would just like literally hold one and pull it, and it would just snap really easily. And obviously the other paper ones you just twist off are great. But those, I don't know what those were. They were like some sort of new, like crazy titanium plastic version. Anyway, Shockwave. I've got him in a really dorky pose at the moment. I don't know why. He's also got these really cool like wrist secondaries as well, kind of like little kind of little wrist armor jobs, and in grey as well. I like the fact that it's not all blue. You got the kind of like this grey color here. You got a kind of dark grey padding on the secondary. Of course, you got the Joe Pro on there as well, and then you got that nice kind of blue. There's almost like a few different tones of blue in here as well. Obviously, you got the light blue, you got the dark blue, but then you've got there's like another blue that's different from the secondary to the balaclava, ever so slight, slight kind of difference. It's great. And then you got and it's weird as well. You've got black shin guards and boots, and then the grey knee pads, grey wrist pads, black gloves. There's a lot of interesting color breaks here, and it kind of makes for an interesting figure too. I like it. Now, I am upset right now because we've got the knife. Let's get the knife sorted. I'm going to pop that in there, and I'm going to be careful, like Derek said, because he lost his and had to glue it back on. I've pushed it in there, and it is there. It's secure. So I haven't broken his little sheath. That stayed on. Thankfully, I don't have to do any gluing. It does stick out a little bit, doesn't it? Like the handle sticks out a touch. Let's show you there. Look, kind of does stick out a little bit from his body, but that's not, from the front it's fine. It looks like his knife, and it's cool. So I'm down on that. I'm down for that. Trimmed down the inside of his hat around the edges so I could get it lower down on his head a bit. It does sit a little high. I will agree on that one, actually, Paul. I think it's like, it looks fine from the side. Like, it looks great there. When you get to the front, because there's like a lot of balaclava on the top showing, it does sit a little funny, doesn't it? It does sit a little high, but on the side it looks perfect. It's a shame. It's weird that. But the side looks great, and then you look from the front, and it does look a little bit like tall. Could be the angle, but it looks a little better off camera. Weirdly enough, yeah, it might just be the lighting, but yeah, I can see I can see why you've done that. Now, he can, of course, hold the shield. Yeah, I get it. In his right hand. That is a weird choice. And that is one of those things where, if I was designing something and making sure that, and I'm no I'm not an expert at this thing, but if I were designing something that required a specific way of holding it to, for realism, or for what actually goes on really easily, though, that's quite nice. So it fits nice, clips over that, even clips over that secondary without it, even really causing an issue. But if I was designing something like that, and this has happened so many times in the world of kind of like, not just G.I. Joe, but action figures in general, you would make damn sure you were getting everything. You would hold it a certain way, and you would act it out. And you definitely I think you definitely have to think, yeah, let's look at, because it's majority right-handed, isn't it? So you'd have to be like, not saying you couldn't do one that was left, or maybe just have two notches in it. I don't know, just either side. But I know that probably defeats the object. And if you're using reference too, surely the reference would be kind of leading the way on where things go and how they should look. Yeah. So I was going to say, I'm kind of left here with a I forget what it's called, an accessory that can't go anywhere. So we can't it can go in his hand, obviously, and that's where it's going to go. But we don't have a storage option for it, which is a bit of a shame. And I'm going to pop it in his hand there. He's going to taunt for it a little bit. Get in there. He's definitely fighting me on a few things, and he's just hold it. You've got a hand. There we go. There we go. He's got it. He's got it now. So we've got like we've got the mini lightsaber, the dark lightsaber, dark light, and we've got the shield on there. All looks cool and everything. But you're right, guys. I get what you're saying. The fact that there's some interesting choices there is what I'm going to get at, and I don't know. It kind of feels like that would have to be at like a design stage sort of level, wouldn't it? Or at least we're gonna have to make some comments on this because the handle's the wrong way around and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's a good shout. I wonder if some image or blueprint got inverted for the production of the shield handle. That's what it could be. Like, it's like it was sent off, but it was inverted by accident or something. I could see that being the case, because there's no way you design it like that. Surely not. And again, even if you're designing it for a left-handed person, you haven't designed it so that a left-handed person can hold a rifle in that space. So yeah, interesting stuff going on there. But he looks cool. I like him. I think it's a great figure, but at the same time, I'm with you guys on a lot of these points. I think I think you're right. I think this is a very good figure that could have been an absolutely great figure. And I'm not like the kind of low points aren't enough for me to be like, oh, I hate it. I'm really pissed off. But no, I think he looks so good, and I love the color. I love the fact we finally got Shockwave. It's just a little bit. It's a bit odd that they've scrimped on a few things here that might. I don't know how difficult is it to put a loop on the belt. Like, that isn't that difficult. It's not like extra money. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're just putting a loop on the belt so that the nightstick can slide in there, Kitty said. And like, in terms of the rest of it, yeah, I get it. The backpack would be more money. I understand that. They've probably cut that to kind of save on the wave in general. Um, but I know I kind of want Shockwave to have a backpack, really just so that the shield could pop on there, because obviously you're not. It's going to be difficult to make the shield a backpack, but it would be easy to like have a place for the shield to connect to a backpack rather than to his back, because there's only one way to backpack works on these, and that's be a peg. But if you stick a peg on the interior, it's gonna have to get in the way of something, and you can't have the handle, the curly bit, and a peg, because the handle and the curly bit would be bumping up against the back. So it's an interesting one. What you could do, I guess, if you're being really intricate with it, is the handle piece that's inside could detach on a peg, and then the backpack would slot into the back, and then you've just got the handle, which maybe could store elsewhere on the figure, or maybe the handle could fold down. Like the handle and the other bit could maybe fold inwards, and the peg would be sticking out, and Bob's your uncle stuck in the back. Again, there's more. What's the word? There's more complexity to it if you're doing something like that. But overall, let's do an overall and talk through it a little bit quick, just like a summary. The little yellow blocks remind me of hidden Mickeys at Disneyland. Oh yeah, McMurphy. Don't tell Paddy that. Hidden Mickeys. It looks like a small gust of wind would blow that right off. The hat, it's on secure as heck, but it does sit a little high. I wonder if some image or blueprint. Yeah, we did that one. Maybe notches so he can see when shield is raised. Only guessing why notch on that side of shield. Yeah, true, Johnny. Or he's holding the shield and someone comes over the top of him with the rifle. Do you know what I mean? Like over his shoulder, sort of thing. But yeah, I think either way is a bit mental. Just so we can see is like they. I mean, I've seen them with like bulletproof glass window things like perspex. That would probably be like that's the ones that are all perspex as well. The riot shields and stuff are all perspex, aren't they? And about 5 mil, not very wide, thick. I remember. Here's a story for you guys. I went to a police training. So I did law in college for like an extra. I think it might have been. It was like an extra class in college that was only a year, and it was to fill up a block that I had on my dance card. And so I did. I thought, yeah, I want to do that law. That law one looked the most interesting. Let's do that. Did it for a year. It was garbage. But but the on one of the days, we like a field trip we had. We went to this police training thing at one of the RAF camps, Royal Air Force camps. I can't remember exactly where it was, but we go there, and it was riot training for police, and we went there as like a group, and we were the rioters, and we were given. This is nuts, actually. I can't even believe this happened, but they gave us wooden, like not soft wooden, like wooden blocks, like chopped up wooden blocks about yay big, in a big trash can, but in a garbage can, in a rubbish bin for everyone that's watching. And that would be on the route. We would be on like a it's like one of those training buildings that are like effectively just the bare bones of a building, like brick building with a roof on it, right? So you climbed up to the top, on steps, not climb. We're not that hardcore. And there'd be these rubbish bins, trash cans, all full of these wooden blocks on the roof. We'd be up on the roof, some of us on the roof, some of us down on the ground. And the police had to advance on the building, and we had to repel them by throwing wooden blocks at them. They're wearing like helmets, riot gear, all the stuff, right? But we were loving it getting to lug stuff at police was just amazing. So we would like, and funny enough, we were on the roof talking. We're like, we were our kind of like supervisor was up there, and he was telling us to, and then he said to a group of us, he said, if you can hit that guy with the orange helmet down there, he's obviously like out of bounds. He's just like guiding them, telling them things. He's not really part of the riot team. He's just another supervisor on the ground, right? He says, if you can catch that guy and his helmet, Kitty said, I'll buy you a drink at the bar. Guess what? Ping. I absolutely beamed that guy's helmet, Kitty said. And it was it was a beautiful shot. Like I wish it'd been recorded. Honestly, absolutely launched it as well. It was going at a pace, this wooden block, and it hit him square on the top of the old orange noggin, and it just went pang. And yeah, it was hilarious. And I got a free drink out of it. Now it wasn't an alcoholic drink; it was a Coca-Cola, and I think we all got free drinks anyway. So it was a joke really at the end of the day, but I was very happy about it. Anyway, and also while we were there, this is another crazy part of the training. After we'd done that and thrown wooden blocks at them for like an hour, which again felt really good. We got to throw Molotov cocktails at a whole, like an advancing kind of like group. Can you believe that? An actual how was this how was this done? It wouldn't be done nowadays. Like, and I say now, it wasn't even that long ago, but it was like, I mean, it was, but it wasn't at the same time. It's not like we were in that period of like health and safety and stuff. It wasn't like, and we had supervisors there, but it was like, here's an example, guys. And, we didn't all get to throw Molotov cocktails. I think like one of the group did. I didn't, but I think one of the group did. And they literally lit it in his hand, and he just lugged it straight away at this group of police, and they just had to keep advancing and we were all still throwing wooden blocks at them, but one of us got to throw a Molotov cocktail. And then because it was training, the other officers that were kind of pretending to be rioters with us, they had Molotov cocktails, and they had to keep throwing Molotov cocktails at them. It was mental. I'll never forget that ever. It was crazy. Anyway, no one died or got injured, and I don't know how. Like, it was insane. Perfectly solid figure, just not an exceptional one, says Andrew. And I think that is actually like hit the nail on the head perfectly there. He's like, he is Shockwave. He does what he says on the tin, but there are some things that would have made him absolutely perfect. And I think having like a real like having a shield isn't a problem, but having a shield that you can't really operate properly is. I thought you hold the shield sideways and have the gun barrel rest on the corner. Yeah, that's what would have happened. But he can't do that because obviously the way that he holds it. I mean, you could like, I'm not sure if you could get it holding it in the other hand. It wouldn't really it wouldn't really work, would it? But also the fact that the interior, like the way that it's been put in there, clearly has been designed to slot into a hole, a shape, and that shape is only one way. So even if you pulled it out and twisted it round, it wouldn't really sit in there. You could definitely glue it on there, but it wouldn't sit right really on there. Every time I think of Shockwave, I think of Optimus Primal, since they're the same voice actor. Nice one, Bobby. The lack of a loop is my main criticism, but I slide it in the holster when he's holding a gun and the shield. That, yeah, makes a lot of sense. I guess that is an option, isn't it? I don't know. I prefer having storage options for everything, so they don't have to carry anything. But yeah, it does actually. It fits nicely in there when there's no submachine gun. It kind of like sits. Well, obviously it's good because you've got the kind of handle on the nightstick, so it kind of is the same rough shape, I guess, as a as a firearm. So yeah, that kind of does make a lot of sense on there. I love that I got to recount my story of the police training situation. I also have to admit that I don't like the little kind of the little sidearms are cute, but I would definitely prefer his sort of weapon that he had as an original figure. And again, like, he looks cool. I'm not going to lie. I think he looks amazing. I actually prefer him like this with the pistol in hand. I say pistol, semi-automatic pistol or whatever you call it, and the submachine gun and the and the nightstick in there. I prefer this look, so I'm down with that. And you can let's see if I can get him so he does hold the gun over that side of the thing. No, it's impossible. It's impossible. Yeah, you can't close his arms really tight enough, can you? I mean, if he does shoot over there, he's going to be shooting sideways. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, I think there's a lot. It's like I would say B minus for this one because I love his look and his design and everything. But yeah, there's a lot of shortcomings in the kind of practical, tactical side. What we're saying, he's a dope figure, but a few shortcomings with him. That shield is disappointing. Love Shockwave though; he's a great character, says Mr. Roper. Riot Shield was a great idea by the designer. I appreciate the idea and effort. Perfect way to modernize him with the digi camo. Agreed, Flaffle. Shockwave looks great, but a little more attention to detail was needed in his design. Again, nail on the head there, Rachel. Regardless of small issues, he's a perfect representation of a classic character that is easily recognizable to us old schoolers. Good point, McMurphy. I think that's why I like him so much. I've got that kind of, that kind of connection to the original figure so strong that I'm forgiving of anything that isn't like an extra detail here and there. It's not like his original figure was packed with features, or do you know what I mean? It was a a pretty straightforward figure, knife, gun, backpack sort of thing. It wasn't any like countdown levels of intricacies in there, or like hit and run like a duffel bag with a blooming rope inside it and stuff like that. It was your basic kind of stuff then as well. Maybe if they would have let you plug in the strap and handle on the shield so you can swap out which side you can hold it on. Oh, totally, Ray. I said that before. Like if it was on a spin, like you've seen on the Alley Viper shields, like we've seen on countless Masters of the Universe shields, and just shields in general, like that interior, just have that spin. Like it just seems to be like a no brainer, because then it's like, oh, left or righties, but then it's specifically designed for a right-handed right kind of weapon sort of notch is the word I'm looking for. Just want any backpack fit or just stay on my classified. I know it's annoying, isn't it? I'm okay with the backpack. Don't see many swap wearing a backpack. The backpack dollars went into the shield. I totally agree, Mike. Totally agree. What I'm saying is with the backpack is I'm cool if it's one or the other, but I feel like the shield needs to have more about it. Like it needs to go on his back. And I think like the only way that it would make sense if it's the backpack that it connects to, so that you don't have the issues with the the handle and the thing, the loop kind of butting up against him sort of thing. And like even if there's a peg on the front, it wouldn't look right. And if you're sticking it in backwards, again, it wouldn't look right. I'd like it to kind of like envelop him, so sort of go on him, so this is where it kind of, this is his back basically, and it kind of goes around him like closing the wings sort of thing. Don't need a backpack, would be nice to have a peg to carry shield on the back. Exactly. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm getting. I'm just trying to think of the intricacies of that, is what I was getting at. How do I sign up for one of these, says Paul? What, the blooming police brutality it was amazing. I literally just pelted them constantly. Like a turtle, says Todd. Yes, the kind of like Roman and like Spartan shield scenario, wasn't it? Yeah, but no, they were in like almost like a V formation, and what they would do is they would keep walking and cut through the rioters, and they weren't like, it wasn't like, this is the thing, they weren't like being, they were on training, they weren't, and they just had, we were there as like a special kind of additional treat, so we were just like getting hammered by riot police, not like proper beaten by them, but they weren't holding back when they were cutting through the rioters. So like, you just have to get out of the way or you get hurt. But no one did, which was really weird. Did anyone get to throw a urine bomb? Not that we told them. No, I don't know. I don't know. That would have been mentally gross, wouldn't it? If you can hit that guy in the helmet and just throw a water bomb full of my pesh. You can always tell it's a great training day when no one dies or gets injured. Yes, Blitz, indeed. Random HasLab idea, the BET. You could include Joe or Cobra figures with that one. Thoughts? Love it. I would love it. The BET, I would love the BET in any scale. I think classified scale would be freaking massive still, because it's a chunking beast. But in like the 4-inch, I think it'd be a really nice Super 7 vehicle if they could do it, or Super 7 piece. Like it's not really a vehicle, although it does have tracks. But it's really like it's like a ride on EMP. I know it's not, but you know what I mean. It's like a ride on electricity machine. It's weird, isn't it? I love the BET though. Easy fix for storing the baton: a short length of heat shrink tubing, 1/4, 1/2 long, 3/16 of 3/32 diameter, and dab of super glue on the belt. Looks legit. I like that idea, Mike. Thank you very much. Heat shrink tubing. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, and then just go bloop on the back of the belt. But yeah, I like that a lot. In fact, what I might do is put it at a slight angle, ever so slight kind of diagonal, so that it kind of goes through sideways like that. So it kind of goes, like that way. I think that'd be cool. They should have made a shield like Warhammer Breach's shield. Yes, Shane. I'm trying to think what that actually looks like. I like that his vest stops short of his waist, so it helps a bit with posing, unlike Viper, Ali Viper, etc. Good point, Paul. Yeah, you can kind of see there. Yeah, it is. It's like the belt is almost like a continuation of it, sort of. So it doesn't look wrong. It doesn't look kind of short. It kind of looks in proportion as well. Finally caught alive, says James Rule. Been watching on replay because of basketball, but I'm not complaining since my twins' varsity team are heading to the Elite Eight for state, and my daughter's team are as well. Trying to repeat as state champs. James, that's amazing. Send all my regards to them. They'll know what it means. As if. His original gun was one of my favorite weapons from the original line. Yeah, Shane, it's got that kind of like long stock, hasn't it? The suppressor. It's a dope weapon, and I'm surprised they didn't, give him one. Whee! Or even just give this firearm like a suppressor or something, just to kind of make it a bit lengthier. Kitty said, SWAT guy could use a little McLeod with camera. Yeah, well, he can have one, can't he? Sorry, Tripwire. McLeod's cheating on you with special weapons and tactics. Tactical weapons and tactics is what they should be called. And if you can work that out, then great. It's not a difficult pun, is it, really? Not a difficult riddle for you to work out. Damn, missed the whole show, says James. Oh, I'm sorry, mate. You'll just have to watch it on replay, I'm afraid. And if you want to, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. I'm sorry. I'm glad to hear that I wasn't the only one that noticed the shield being screwed up. Not at all, Wilfredo. I'm glad you gave me a heads up on it. And I'm glad everyone gave me a heads up on lots of other things, because I didn't want to pop the old knife sheath off his chest either. But it looks secure to me on my one. I don't have any issues with mine. So that's good. Again, no issues with this figure from a quality control perspective. Looks great, feels good. Again, like another one in the bag, another one in the another one on the shelf as well. I'm definitely gonna have Shockwave with the Alley Vipers. I think that's gonna be, and Beachhead, Shockwave, Alley Vipers. I like the sound of that. And who else can I put in there with him? Who else is a sort of like? Oh, and then SAS Eagle can go with him as well, because he's kind of like that kind of like building clearer sort of SAS job, hasn't he? SWAT training also doubles as future anarchist training as well. Exactly. We were training for being actual rioters, weren't we? You need Techno Viking to show up and protect everyone. Oh, I used to love that video, Todd. I will watch that all the way through if I see it again. Techno Viking was amazing, and just dancing through the street, amazing. Dude was a beast. BT seems like it's missing a Godzilla. Yeah, I guess. I wonder if you could put glue a small neodymium magnet. I cannot. I'm very terrible. Neodymium magnet in Shockwave's forearm pad on the back of the shield and on his back. Let the shield magnetize to him. Totally. Yeah, you could. I mean, there's multiple ways you could customize this. I was thinking from like, before they, in a design perspective, like in before they get into it. But yeah, absolutely, there's multiple ways you can customize the shield to do what you want it to do and work the way you want it to do. I mean, a lot of people, it sounds like, have taken that off the interior, the handle and the loop, and they've just flipped it around and glued it on. So I'll probably just do that, honestly. Great Fig just needs a backpack. Lols. Eben, yeah, we talked about that. I kind of wish they did have a backpack though. Again, really, so that you could use it for storage on some of the other things as well. And then you could have, a lot more gear stored. As a kid, I always thought Shockwave and Beachhead were ninjas, and I would argue with my friends about it. FC Viper, that's amazing. Always put your thumb on those sheaths when trying to put those knives in. It prevents popping and bending. Agree. Yeah, totally, Scott. Absolutely. Derek agrees as well. Had an issue with Ali Viper knives bending on me. Yeah, I've had a few instances where you put a knife into like a sheath and it flex and bends before you get it in there and causes that little white line that drives me mad. What did that happen on? I don't think it might have been a sword actually as well that I did that with. I think it might have actually been one of like Zartan's knives as well. But I've had that kind of issue a few times. And they made Dwayne Johnson roadblock in Arashikage Ninja. They did, brother, absolutely, despite being heavy weapons. 100%. That was the weirdest preview comic ever. Have you ever, I was totally excited for like the Rise of the Retaliation movie coming out and everything, but they had that preview comic pop up. That was kind of like an insight into the Battle Kata Roblox training with Snake Eyes, and they were terrible issues of terrible comic, really bad. When I think about what we've had in the past in certain comics for like that, and where we are at the moment with Skybound, I'm like, it's what a journey. Skybound's killing it at the moment. Full Force Weekly tomorrow or Saturday, says Rachel. It's going to be Saturday. Pat has actually called in this time to say that he won't be able to make tomorrow, so yeah, we're gonna try for Saturday instead. I'll put the thing out tomorrow as well on the socials as well, just to kind of make sure everyone's aware. Yeah, Shockwave is one of my favorite characters. Me and my friends gave him an elaborate backstory. I'd love to hear that one day, Viper. But we're at the end of this show now, so unless you can summarize it pretty quick, we might unfortunately we'll have to hear it another day. But thank you guys for joining me for this unboxing of Shockwave. It still looks pretty dope. I really like him. I know there's a few shortcomings that we all kind of agreed on. We were talking like quick summary. I didn't do this before. Beautiful looking figure, very satisfying visually. The deco's amazing. I really love the new kind of addition to the deco with those kind of yellow Predator 3 dots that kind of appear not too often as well. You can kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's not many on him, which is impressive, which is really cool. So it's not like all of a sudden there's loads of yellow on there. It's just enough just to break up and make it look a little bit more kind of up to date and modern. I love it. The secondary is awesome. I love this vest. He looks great. Good kind of size, nice fit. Still keeps him quite lean, but also you get that kind of same feeling of bulk that you see when you see like the SWAT team guys and stuff. Like really cool. Fun, like a nice bunch of accessories. He comes with like a decent amount, is what I'm getting at. And in general, a very sturdy and solid figure build wise. Now, what are the shortcomings? a couple of things. He comes with 2 submachine guns, but I wouldn't say that they're like crazy, like awesome. Very small little submachine guns, almost like, in my opinion, they would be like a secondary weapon. And then he should really have like a shotgun, or he should have a like another, like like a H&K MP5 or something along those lines. And I know there's other weapons in the line, and you can just mix and match. That's totally cool. And of course, you've got Marauder gun runners, etc. That's 100. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, from a shortcomings angle. Um, then, of course, you've got the riot shield, which has a few odd things going on. Obviously, the handle being like the wrong way around interior wise, that doesn't line up with the notch option on the shield. So you can't put the rifle on the through the on the over the notch, which is what it's kind of designed to do, because it's that should be right-handed technically, and obviously the interior makes it so he's got to hold it with his right hand. You can't twist it or turn it around, and I think that would have been perfect. Just have a spinning interior handle so that you could have it either way. That's a shame, honestly. But it's still cool. It's still a cool right shield with full of detail and interesting kind of like design touches and everything. Really cool. And then of course you've got the nightstick. Doesn't have any actual like standard storage, and a loop on a belt or even on the back of his um secondary would have fixed that, no problem. And it doesn't cost anything to do that. It's just a design addition into something that's already being tooled. So I think that was like a bit of a miss on that. If you get obviously he was going to have a nightstick, in this figure was always going to have a nightstick. That was always going to happen. That's not like a afterthought, but it does feel like one when you can't store it on him. The knives are cool, and obviously both have storage. The submachine guns, again, more secondary weapons, but you do have storage for both of those. And the hat does sit a little odd from the front, but when you look from the side, it looks great. So certain angles, he looks perfect, and then from the front, it does look a little bit janky sometimes, shape wise, but it's really cool. And it, like I said, from the side, perfect. But a few odd little things I wasn't expecting, I must admit, but really cool figure nonetheless. And in general, I'm happy. But I would say, what did I say? B minus. I'm gonna give it like that was really, yeah. I was kind of talking in grades, because he does, again, strong nostalgic connection with the character. Love the original figure. So it's a difficult one to mark down when you like the character so much and you're seeing it like in 6-inch fashion right in front of your eyes. So yeah, really happy with him. But like I said, a few little things that I probably would have changed myself personally from a design perspective. Now, and I don't mind the art. I quite like the fact that he's doing something a little different with the eyes, but I can see what you're saying. It does look a little bit like they've been, one smaller than the other, and it shouldn't be that way. But yeah, I think that's more to do with someone mentioned at the beginning that it's more of the kind of face sculpt sort of situation there that could have been like changed so that there was like there was muscle, there was like a difference in the face sculpt on the side, so it's not symmetrical. Hit and run next, please, Hasbro, says Eben. Yeah, hit and run is long in the. He should be coming soon. I mean, come on. Shockwaves, we've done that one. Done that one. Who's next to unbox, says Flaffle. Next up, well, it's the SWAT team's very own Helix, isn't it? Look at that. Not bad for price, is it, either? Eh? I don't know if I did get pro member price on it, or if, sorry, I should say Justin got pro member price on it. But thanks anyway, Justin. And do you know what? I'm not taking the sticker off because I'm viewing it with an eye, that kind of an eye on, like, I always regret taking stickers off vintage figures. Not that I did once I bought them in, later life, like carded or whatever. But like when I was a kid, I'd sometimes take the stickers off. But like, you had like cool Woolworths. I know it's a different company out here, I think, but we had Woolworth stickers and Gerald's and all these like department stores and Toy Master and stuff like that. And I kind of like having those little price stickers on there. So I know it's GameStop and it's not exactly like going to be vintage for another 1,000 years, but in the same kind of fashion, I don't want to take the sticker off, so I'm not going to. And you can't bloody make me. Ray says, good stream. Good night, everybody. Good night, Chris. See you Saturday morning. Indeed. I mean, you might see me on Friday. I'll probably be doing another one tomorrow. Smash the like button, y'all, says McMurphy. I agree. Good night, Todd. Not sure why, but his colours look off from the original toy. Is that just me? I mean, they're different colours technically. You've got yellow in there now, kind of spotted in there. I don't know. I think he looks great. I think his colours look phenomenal. I mean, I'd have to get them both together to do a comparison, but I'm pretty sure he's pretty spot on there. Woolworths here was a Ross before Ross. Yeah, Carl, we had our Woolworths was great. I would get a lot of VHS tapes from there, like CD singles. Do you remember them? Albums as well. But also they had toy section, and I remember our Woolworths in North Walsham. That was the nearest one to me. It had it seemed to have an aisle of Action Man from the 90s, that orange Action Man style product for like 20 years. It was the same product up there and it never moved. I just remember that vividly. Anyway, lovely stuff. Thanks guys for watching. It's been a blast. It's been a shockwave. It's been a shock blast. Hey, I didn't mean to do that, but that's the history of Shockwave. Like I said, I will see you probably tomorrow, but if I don't, then it'll be Saturday morning on the weekly. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday evening. Stay fresh, cheese bags, and as always, after 3, 1, 2, 3, full force. I'm losing my voice. That's it for this instalment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on X, formerly Twitter, @The Full Force, liking the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Full Force. We've also added a brand new Instagram, so check us out there as well, @The Full Force Podcast, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.